With the costs of goods seemingly getting more expensive by the day, more of the younger generation are turning to secondhand shops. There are a couple of reasons behind this. Our Ahn Sung-jin takes a closer look at this trend.
Vintage clothes shopping is like searching for a hidden gem. This vintage pop-up store in the Hongdae area of Seoul says most of its customers are in their 20s and 30s.
T-shirts here cost around 4,000 to 5,000 won, which is very cheap, especially for the younger generation, which is still financially dependent.
Those reasonable prices are also what attracts young people to vintage clothing stores.
It's also cheaper most of the times, and sometimes it's even upcycled, so there's a new twist to the item. Yeah, you can also find good items for a lot less money if you look around.
This is known as underconsumption core. I talked to a content creator who explains a bit more of this trend in detail.
So underconsumption is mindfully consuming less. So whatever you have, just using it to the fullest. So it's a pushback to overconsumption. They started underconsumption. So going to thrift stores would be a form of underconsumption because you're more mindful of what you buy and you bring into your home.
It's not only fashion that's been affected by this trend of opting for affordable means. According to the Korea Federation of Bookstore Association, 2 major second-hand bookstores have seen their number of branches increase each year from 2015 to last year. From vintage clothing to buying second-hand books and furniture, undercore consumption claims to reject excessive consumption and pursue a simple lifestyle. A professor adds that there is more to the scope of this trend.
People are now moving away from YOLO to YONO, which is you only need one. It ties back to minimalism and advocates for reducing consumption. Buying vintage clothes has already been around for a while, yet it's trending even more among the younger generation these days because in the midst of materialism, such old items seem to appeal to them with history and uniqueness.
The steady selling of vintage items not only reflects the younger generation's pursuit for uniqueness, but amid the rising cost of living, it's also a pushback against overconsumption. Ahn Sung-jin, Arirang News.